Yeah, we have made a note of it.
Okay.
And then next is the user. You are not able to see my screen?
Yeah, we can see a screen.
Okay. Yeah. So the next is the user improvement feedback, which we have received for the this sprint was in the airport contacts. You have given the feedback saying it will be good if you have mobile one, mobile two, phone one, phone two. That we are going to take it up, but maybe after the CMS delivery, or if we have a time frame in this, the sprint 13, we are going to take it up. But I have not missed it. I have made a note of it, and we will treat that. So whenever there is a user improvement, I am. It will be a dynamic slide. Whenever we get a feedback from US team, I am going to update here. And
Okay.
there are a couple of open issues. There are around 70 plus defects are open, and the development team will be going to fix that. And there are quite small UI alignment issues are there in airport, like create and edit airport. Yeah, these are the couple of issues which is already identified, and there are around, as I told, around 70 defects are there. We have a one like day buffer day tomorrow, so and a weekend. So before the next sprint starts, we are targeting to clear out the major chunk. So, but if it is a defects is there, yeah, we are going to take it up in the next sprint, and we will fix that. So, yeah, this is the overall, the view on the sprint 12. So now Shruti is with me from BA team. So she will take over and she will walk through us on the country and the airport module. Country module, it will be demo will be given in the QA environment. And for the airport module, for the create, edit, and delete, yesterday there was a major bug fix was delivered into the dev. I don't want to disturb the the build in the QA. That's the reason the that build is not moved to QA. That's still in dev. So the airport module it will be given in the dev environment. So I'll make Shatya as a presenter.
Hi all, Shruti here. I would like to walk through the features completed in Sprint 12. Firstly, countries. In countries, we have implemented AG Grid. Uh, all the features of AG Grid are covered here. I'd like to create a new country details. Here we have 4 mandatory fields: country name, 2 ISO code, 3 ISO code, region. I'll enter the data. Once all the mandatory fields are selected, save will be enabled. If we have given uniqueness is maintained here, that is 2 ISO code and 3 ISO code was already we had the data, so we got an error message. Now I'll create a unique data. The country details is saved successfully. Here we can edit the data via edit icon. Or we can go via the read-only mode. So I like to go from read-only mode. The details which I've saved is country name, ISO code, all the mandatory fields. I'll edit the data now. I'll give a currency code and a capital city. The data is updated successfully. The edited data is reflected here. I'll delete the created data now. It is successfully deleted. We got a successful message. The data is not present. It got deleted. Any feedback in the countries create module, edit or update? Hello?
Not from me, no.
Yeah.
No feedback here.
Yeah.
I just want to see how this works with big data. Because right now we have just a few countries, and when you open the country tab, it loads slow.
Okay.
Yeah, we
I
are.
want to see all the countries there, and then to see how things are working.
Yeah, Mihai, like we have already have a CSV file with all the countries. Safwan has shared that. So we are going to process that and we will test that.
Okay.
And we have like today there is some internet service provider also. We have a couple of issues. So that is also one of the reason of loading issues is there. But we already last time only Safwan has given us a feedback saying we have to test with more data. So we will test that and we will share the feedback with you, Mihai.
Okay.
Now in countries we have few subtasks. So I'll move forward. In this we have CA info, sanctions, flight requirements, capabilities, alerts, airport and document. I'll go to CA info. Here already data is present. It will be in read-only mode. We can edit the data. I'll save the data. It is saved successfully. Since I selected multiple datas, here we have a scroll bar. Any clarification or feedback in CA info? Public holidays.
Yeah, looks good, guys. Yeah, sorry.
No, public holidays, you have already given the feedback that we have to remove it. That will take it up next sprint.
Correct.
Yeah, and
Correct.
is this scroll bar is fine for multiple selected data? This is how we are showing the data.
Yeah, it's typically you're gonna get maximum 1 or 2 items. You would never actually select all of them in this fashion.
Yeah.
It's typically just one authority that issues the navigation charges, but it's fine. Let's leave it. If multi are selected, which it's quite a slim chance, but anyway, I mean that's fine.
Yeah. Okay. Next, we'll move to sanctions. For particular country, this will be created. Adopted by is a multi-select here. In case we are not giving to date, we can click on UFN. It will take under further notice. If not, we'll give the date. I'll save the details. The detail is saved successfully. We can edit the detail. The detail is saved successfully. Whenever a new sanction is created, it will be also reflected in the AG grid. You will get a label as sanctions here. I'll delete the detail.
Have we done anything to the right of adopted that's still showing blank, that whole space there? Is that where the details are going to come in, or description, or any field data are going to be populated there? Or?
The space. That is already QA team has identified this issue, and this is we need a AG grid support for this. So we are in discussion, Jimmy. So it has to be.
Yeah, sure. No, it was okay. That's fine. So there's no update. You're still working on it because it was raised last time as well. But that's fine.
Yeah.
That's okay.
Actually, they will share us some of the articles. So we went through it. Yeah, we were busy with this delivery. But again, I will follow it up, and I will address this issue, Jimmy.
Understood. Thank you.
The next menu is flight requirements. I'll create the data. Here we have flight category, services, lead time, permit validity, true fields, all are mandatory.
Should that be labeled overflight requirements, or is that are we relabeling that flight requirements?
Hello.
Yeah, it's for landing permits. So they've selected any service Dukes, but this would be applicable for overflight and landing permits, blocks, you name it. Mm-hmm. Anything in the permit service category.
Okay, got it.
I'll save the data. Save successfully. Looks like there is internet issue. So the data is reflected. This is the one I created. We can also edit it. The successfully updated 14 days. I'll delete the flight requirement details which I created now. Is deleted successfully. We have only 2 rows. Any feedback on flight requirements?
Nil at this stage.
Okay.
There is can you go to edit again?
Yeah.
I think last time we, I mean, does it convert between hours and days? If you select hours, for example. Okay.
Conversion is.
Okay, that's fine.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay, thanks.
Yeah. Next is capabilities. I'll create the data. Here, I went through Afghanistan, so only that country will be available. Remaining countries will not be populated with all the airports under. Details is saved successfully.
Yeah. Jimmy, give us a few minutes. I will try to connect to the one of the other network and we'll see. Just give us a minute.
Sure, no problem.
Jimmy, I've got a quick question for you.
Yeah, sure, Duke.
How are we handling the supervisory agents like the ones in Africa? Are we adding in a layer for the supervisory agent?
Supervisory agents, so we can add them as personnel, and then there's a couple of ways we can do it. It's all basically via capabilities. We can create them as vendors, and then attach them as create them as vendors, and then assign them a service of airport supervisory in various locations. So this is done in the capability. So then when we go to any location, select insert service, airport supervisory. We can then assign we would then have a list of individuals who are capable to do supervisory at that location. So for the Africa guys, basically, when you go in, say for example, Ivory Coast, I know I've got a supervisor there on the ground. The moment I put airport supervisory, the system will let me know straight away who's available to carry out the supervisory task in that location.
So how does the team know that there's a supervisory agent there and available? So like, say for example, over in Nice in France, and unless the team remembers that there's somebody down over there, how do they recognize that there's somebody available to supervise?
Yeah, no, that's a good question. We can manage it via a number of ways, though. I think in the trip planning module, we also came up with um, suggested services. So, okay. In the list of services that the system will create automatically, we'll have supervisory as a line that's always included. And when that location, when that country has a supervisor, it will automatically flag the individual that supervisory is available at that location. It's the same way with how APIS is configured in the system, or PPR or landing slots, or when it's a mandatory requirement and mandatory requirement for a particular location, it will actually display as a needed with an asterisk mark. So if you go into the trip planning module, there are a number of services that we've configured that way so that it highlights the individual. PPR is mandatory here, or landing permit is, or APIS is mandatory, or whatever the case may be. Supervisor will be configured in the same way.
Okay, all right, got it. Because I think for our clients down over here, anybody who goes to Africa, 100%, we always have them. Supervisor down over there. We just have that as
fine,
we don't even give them a knock.
It's a good point there. I mean, like, look at for Nice, for example. You got King obviously stationed in Nice. Listen, we're getting the same problems. The guys here, sometimes they forget to suggest to the client, or to update King that there's an aircraft that's going her way. And that we need to do supervision. So we're finding the same thing. Mind you, I mean, it's all in alerts. We've done it in so many different ways, but still,
right.
Obviously, when you've got so many files and so many services to look after, it may kind of, get lost, in translation, or the guys just won't know to offer it or not.
Got it.
Apologies for the delay. I think we may need a couple more minutes. Just we are trying to connect to the other net, and we're checking the features. Just give us a minute.
So, Jimmy, along those same lines, as far as the correspondence that goes back and forth, so let's say that Kang is looped in for the stuff going on in Nice. Will all the coordination go through her, and she would coordinate with the local handler there?
No, negative.
Okay, she would just be.
So the guys, so the guys would officially communicate with the vendor in the normal fashion, in the normal sense. We can tailor the system to send an auto notification to a particular supervisor upon service selection, so they should get a heads up. That's kind of automatic. I think we can get assign notifications fairly easily in that fashion. But from a coordination point of view,
I think that'd be a great idea. That auto notification is probably a great idea, and I would even suggest that maybe, even if that hasn't been selected as a service, that she would be aware that there's something going on over there, so that if that was inadvertent, that she would know to at least touch base with ops and ask whether or not it was intentional that she wasn't part of that. I don't know. What are your thoughts on that?
Yeah, I mean, we just have to be cautious that it doesn't get provided to a client when the supervisor exists in a different city. Because there's also transportation. I mean, look, some countries, it could be like a 12-hour drive, 18-hour drive by bus or whatever the case may be. So that can incur relocation costs, and
Right.
the company might mandate additional, also may mandate that those costs be paid by the client. That's okay. I mean, we could discuss this further, maybe offline. But there's a number of ways we can deal with this. I don't expect that to be a problem. But yeah, auto notifications, and then the supervisor may turn around and query with networks whether additional fees or charges are payable. There's a number of it. It's going to come down to an internal process, to be honest, I think.
Yes, agree.
Jimmy, the network is back, and Shruti has shared her screen. So
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, continue, guys.
The data I created was this. I'll edit this. I mean, we can see the data which I've added, countries and the categories. Here the request form also we have.
Sorry, you were able to create a capability without a service?
Yes. Right now we have not made it mandatory. We are yet to do that. We will be doing it in the next
I
sprint.
think.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
At a
we've got the
minimum, you need
feedback that,
service.
service needs to be mandatory. We'll get it.
Yeah.
Next sprint will be doing.
Okay.
We can delete the data. It is deleted successfully. Next is alerts.
Okay. So we need to add
Yes.
public holiday under type. Since we're removing public holiday from the CAA, we're going to create, when we want to add public holidays, we'll put it under alert. So then under type, can you add one more for me, that a selectable item in the drop-down value for type, and name it as public holiday, please? Actually, hang on. Category. No, actually, no, sorry, big pardon. Hang on. Go under category.
Okay.
No TEM US internal. Okay. Here is where we're going to have it under category. Sorry, public holiday.
Okay, you want under category, not under type.
Yes, correct. Not under type. No.
Okay.
I actually think we've got those back to front, by the way. Let me just go back over the slides. I think the data currently listed under type should be under category. It should be like vice versa. Let me come back to you on that one. I just want to check what the how we set it up.
Okay.
Yeah, I think Jimmy, this is the type. I think it was called access type or something. Maybe this is why it's related to the division.
Right. Okay. Yeah, it should be like access something, not type. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, I think we just need to tweak that section a little bit. I'll send some feedback on the group, guys. Continue, please.
Oh yeah, sure. Yes. The detail is saved successfully. We can edit it. the data is updated. We can delete the data.
Do those lines expand while you're in
Yeah.
view mode? Like when you're in that view, if I press any of the lines, does that actually expand, or does it just open up the value?
No,
Open up the record. Sorry.
no.
Okay, it just opens up in view mode in this fashion. Okay.
It will be in the read-only mode.
Mm.
We can edit via here also.
Yeah. So, Fawn, what do you think? I don't see it. When you click, it opens up in, it's like a whole page for like a one line.
Right. I think this one, I remember discussing this, but it's when Manju was here. But I think we didn't have the time to put it on the mockups. So the notes section, can you go back to the grid?
Yeah.
So here, what left from this grid is the notes section, and you can just make it expandable. I mean, the row itself, you can expand the row to check the notes.
It makes sense. Yeah.
Yeah. So we don't need
I don't see the need.
a view mode. Yeah.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah.
So when you select a row, it just expands and shows you the full data. That's it.
Right.
And maybe if you press edit, it just allows you to edit right there on screen. Again, it's save you a couple of steps there instead of switching screens back and forth.
Right.
Because typically what goes in here is not a lot of data that's going to go here.
Right.
So Jimmy and Safwan, you want to expand collapse, or is it fine how it is coming up?
Expand collapse.
Expand collapse. Okay, I'll
Right.
make a note of it.
Okay. Okay, next is airports. Here we have selected country as Afghanistan, so all the airports related to that data will be populated. We can create airport details here. This the creating section I'll show in the airport module itself. The thing is, only the particular country via which we have come, only that will be reflected here. That's the major thing.
Yes.
Yeah. Then documents, similar to aircraft, we can add the documents from here. We can create a new documents. I uploaded one file. Document is saved successfully. This is the document I've added. We can delete it from here itself. Just deleted successfully. There is no document. There is a zero attachment as I've deleted the document. Any feedback on the countries module is done. So overall, any feedback on any of the particular submenus or any other thing?
Nothing from my side.
Okay.
As I told earlier, for the airport create, edit, and delete, we are going to show in Dev because there were, day before yesterday, we released to QA, and there were a couple of potential issues, so which were fixed. And yeah, we are going to give a demo for that in dev environment.
We have implemented AG grid here also. These are the number of fields we have included here. So 10 fields are there. US partner agent also we have included. I'll create a new airport. Here only 6 fields are mandatory. Airport name, IATA, ICO, country, latitude, longitude, and time zone.
You made the forwarding?
Alternate airport is multi-select. Runway surface is multi-select. We can add one more runway details needed. If not, we can delete it.
Very good.
Yeah. Time zone. Based on this time zone, the UTC offset will come. If DST, we have radio button no, then the start date and end date will not be appearing. If you click on yes, we can select the particular date and time, date. ATC frequency, we have 6 field. Tower 1, ground 1, clearance 80 IS. If we add tower again, we'll get that it has already been added as a warning. If we select H24, operating hours will be disabled. If we uncheck it, we can enter the particular date time. Category.
Excellent.
If we click on fire category upgrade, the upgraded values will be populated. That is fire category values. You can select it.
Mm-hmm.
If we uncheck it, that won't be there.
Very good.
Runway lights. Approach. Here approaches, it is multi-select.
Mm-hmm.
Then fuel details, we have jet A1, AB, etc. Then all other fields are free text editor.
Yep.
Yeah. Any feedback on the create feed? I'll save the details.
Okay, so yes, save that for me, but can you check H24 for me?
Yes.
Yep, H24, okay.
Of airport hours and tower hours will be disabled. You can see it.
Okay, now press the save button.
Okay. Right. IATA code should be unique. We are getting as we have kept it as a mandate and uniqueness.
Okay, that's a different discussion, but okay.
Yeah.
Now, so go back to the. Did that save your entry or no?
No. Since it.
No. Oh, sorry. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Just give me a minute. I'll create the data.
And make it ICAO mandatory, not IATA, because not every place have an IATA. In fact, some places may not even have an ICAO, but we're going to use the ICAO field as the identifier.
I have just a note on this. For example, this kind of situation where you try to save the details, but for some, because there is an issue, there is a constraint on the IATA, so you have to again fill all the details. So is there a way just to have the pre-check on the same page, like whenever you save the details, it doesn't have to go directly to the list view. First, it should be successful. If it's not successful, then it should tell you that, okay, there is a problem here before moving or navigating to another page.
That really applies to everything with that you're profiling. If something's mandatory, it should just come up and highlight the field that the data is missing, guiding the person profiling it to that field.
Right.
Okay.
The detail is saved successfully. This is the detail.
Okay. All right. So now, okay. So H24 is selected. It's profiled. Okay. Now go to the operating hours.
It will show as not available.
Okay. Can we put like a badge that says H24? I think I said that to Manju, because as you're scrolling down, for example, scrolling down, yeah, okay, operating hours, it should just like a badge in green next to operating hours, H24 or something like that.
Okay. We can edit the data. In case if I uncheck now, we can edit the data here, operating hours.
Okay. And the local UTC switch. Yeah, select that.
We can switch.
Okay, good.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
It is updated successfully. I'll delete the data.
Now, I just wanted to know when it's the operating hours column in the filter is still not displaying anything. Yeah, see how you got operating hours and one of the columns? When you amend any of the airports, so go into any airport and just select H24, for example, and then save it.
Jimmy, for this, QA team has already identified the issue, and still our development team is implementing on the operational hours display.
Okay, understood. In the filter, in the list, airport list.
Yes. Maybe I will make a note of it, and I will share the defect ID so that you can keep an eye on it.
Okay.
Next is contacts. If no data is present, it will not be available in here. I'll create a contact type, phone. I'll add. If I don't want, I can remove it. I'll save the details. It is saved successfully.
Jimmy, like in the last, the visibility view also, this defect is still open. So the developer is fixing it because the successful, you will get a successful message, but it will display only once you go back to the home screen and come to it. So this defect is open.
Mhm.
We will take that action.
Yeah.
We can create.
Did you guys make a note of, sorry, Shapriya, did you guys make a note of what we were saying before, Safwan and I? About if some data is missing, it should not go back to the list view, it should just identify which field still requires input. Has that been noted?
Yes, Jimmy, we already made a note of it.
That's been noted? Sorry, okay, because I didn't hear anyone saying. Okay, thank you.
Next is capabilities. It is similar to the one where we it showed in countries, but here respective airports only will be populated. In the countries field, only the particular airport you can see it. Remaining other airports will not be able to see it.
Mm-hmm. Very good.
Flight requirements also is the same as the one which we did in airports, countries. It is saved successfully. We can edit it, we can delete it. Next one is alerts. Here also we can create the data. So multi-select. It is saved successfully. We can edit the data.
Now, one important thing here, guys, alerts. Okay, so I've got country alerts and I've got airport alerts.
Yes.
When I generate an alert in a country, by default, that alert should also be displayed in the alerts page of every airport.
Yeah.
All right.
Okay.
Now, on the other hand, if I create an alert in the airport alert window, then that alert could only be specific or unique to that specific airport. So it should not be displayed in the overall country alert list. If that makes sense.
Yeah, we have implemented the similar way.
Yeah, excellent.
Next is weather. Here we have 5 fields. It's in read-only mode. We can download the file. I've downloaded it. The PDF will appear like this, which will have the weather, the name of that particular airport, the time when it was created, and the date, along with the respective fields.
Meta date and TAF date. See how you got AM, PM? Remove that, just leave UTC, please. You don't need AM or PM. It's always UTC time.
But I think, as I know, as the data will come from third-party API, Jimmy. So whatever I think it is displaying, we are exporting to PDF.
Yeah, it's impossible that they're giving you a PM
No,
and UTC number.
Chinmay Manju here. Just in the PDF only we are showing the AM, PM, not here.
It is.
No, we shouldn't be shooting.
Just
Sorry,
read,
guys.
just read. Oh,
It's coming here also, Manju.
okay.
It should not be displayed anywhere. The code, I mean, I'm reading the weather in code format. The code format, it tells you 1254Z for UTC. This is in the meta. It's not showing anything in PM, as well as the TAF. And the TAF, okay, I think we're going to need to discuss this on the side as well, because it's originating time is, again, it's also Z, should be Z. Should not say AM, sorry.
Jimmy, I just checked with our backend team. Yeah, we can do that. Not a issue. Like, we'll make a note of it, and you don't need AM and PM, right?
Yes.
Okay.
Thank you.
We will do it.
Yeah, it should be on a 24-hour clock, just set to UTC.
Yeah, correct.
Okay, we have a refresh button. Right now, initially when I opened this widget, it was 6:35. Now it is. I'll refresh it. The last updated time we can see it.
Okay.
Next is NOTAMs. Here we have 4 fields: from date, to date, description, NOTAMs. Here also we can download the particular data.
Manju, did you get my email regarding that?
Yes, Jimmy, I got a mail. I discussed with I'll discuss with the team. Okay. Regarding that year, right?
Yeah, the permanent, when you got a permanent
Yes.
in the NOTAM itself. Yeah.
Yeah, just
But also, with,
Shruti show me that 001. Yes, 001. Yeah, same.
yeah, yeah. Mhm.
Here also we can refresh the data.
Yeah.
The latest time will be updated. Next, document. We can create a new document. The document is created. As I've not attached anything, it is showing a 0. Next, map is the third party. So, yeah. Any feedback in airport module?
Nothing further from me.
Thank you, guys.
Nothing from me. Yeah.
Yeah, maybe.
Jimmy and Safan and we have some small issue, alignment issues, some data issues. We are doing that one. Once we'll maybe tomorrow or day after tomorrow we'll fix that one.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, guys. No problem.
Okay, thanks.
And yeah, maybe like you can explore and you can give us the feedback, Safwan and Jimmy, and I will make a note of it. I will check with our QA team for that whether already issues are there. If it is not there, we are going to create a ticket for it, and we will take it up, your feedback.
Okay, sure.
I'll
Sure, Mina.
share my screen for the That still did not take much time. I will quickly walk through on the Sprint 13 planning. Yeah, some of the the lessons learned, the retrospective from Sprint 12 is yeah, database design document to store. That was a very the good feedback. So we are going to save it in Confluence. And yeah, bug status to add to the Jira. Yeah, that is still it is pending from my end. I created a workflow, but I'm not able to integrate to the our the Jira. So I'm just finding ways, and I'm following some of the articles and blogs. I will do that in this sprint. And yeah, like in this sprint, like we can see what I observed is there is a improvement in the defects. So what we are doing is daily we have a daily release. So dev team is briefing to a QA team what are the feature we are releasing. So that's we are going to follow it in the next sprint also. And the one of the request is it would be great if we finalize the change in the requirement in the early 1 or 2 days of the sprint, so that we can accommodate easily, and we can implement in the current sprint only. So these are the some of the the retrospective from the sprint 12. And sprint 13 is going to start from Monday, because as a practice, one day we are going to give a the break after the release, so that for the defects which are open, and sprint preparation. So we have a 1 day. So from Monday it's going to start. And the that a week we have a one holiday. So that's the reason the fourth will be the sprint closure. And we have the user stories. As of now, there are 46 user stories for the customers. So that's been created. It's in the backlog. I have to create a the sprint 13, and I will move there. And yeah, this is as of now, this is the plan. Tomorrow we are going to have a assessment and feasibility meeting with our dev team, and we will see the if at all we have a more the capacity. We are planning to take up a vendor, a couple of user stories, or admin. So that we will have a discussion tomorrow within the team. And we will see the modules, and what are the the challenges, technical complexity. So depending on that, if at all possible, we will target for a few more user stories. So this is the sprint 13 planning. So customers module is we are going to target. And the bug fixes, we are like still the sprint on sprint the bugs are moving. So we are targeting to clear out all our existing bugs in the sprint 13. So that is the target is set for the sprint 13.
Okay, sounds good.
So I have already shared, and yeah, I will be updating you tomorrow if at all any change in the sprint plan. Like after the discussion with the team, if you feel like yes, we have a couple of hours capacity to take up, that we will add it in the Jira, and I will update you, Jimmy and Safwan and Mihai.
Okay.
Thanks.
Thank you.
Jimmy, I have a question.
Yeah.
Where can I see all the pending issues from our side? Is it in Jira already? I can check, or
Yes.
how can I check the progress?
It's in Jira. All the defects are in Jira. And if you see our the PPT, your the feedbacks which you are given, we have already implemented. If it is really time taking, we have created a task. Most of the feedbacks which we have which are given, we have implemented. And defects are already in the sprint 12. You can have a look into it. And user stories also, everything is updated. You can check that, Safwan, for sprint 12.
But can you but now, like, I have to check each I have to go to each sprint individually. I mean, I have to go
If you
separately for
yes,
each one to check, or is there a list you can
if you
send
want,
me
I
or
can
something?
share what I can do is from a sprint 9 to sprint 12, I can pull out defects and user stories, and I can share with you and Mihai and Safwan. So I can do that. No, not a problem.
No, no problem. But can you also highlight our feedback, what we already, reported? Because now I cannot differentiate between what you guys are putting and what we are reporting.
Okay. You mean to say that, for example, the feedback, if I take example of AirPlus PAA display, we wish to show with comma separated. So that one you want
Right.
to highlight, and or you want me to update you with a defect ID or a task ID, right?
Yeah. So I want to know exactly our feedback. What's happening with our feedback? I mean, it's different from what you guys are reporting as defects.
Okay. As of the all the sprints, what we have done is, if it is a feedback, if it takes more time, we are creating a task for it, or else we have already implemented that in the the sprint. But going forward, what I can do is, all your feedback I will create a task or something in the Jira, and we will take it to Safwan.
Okay, perfect. Because we need to track it. Okay.
Yeah.
Can you copy me on that? Can you guys copy me in on that list as well?
Yes, sure, Duke. Like whenever I'm, sending all the notify, like the communication, I will add ERP in the group so that everybody will be aware.
All right, sounds good.
And yeah, Asafan, I will make a note of it. Usually, what as of now, what we have done is, for the feedbacks which will not take much of the time. We have not created any the defect or a task for it. On the fly, we have implemented that. But yeah, this is a note. I will make a note of it, and all the your feedbacks, we are going to document it somewhere. Then we will address it.
Sure. Thank you.
Yeah, sure.
And Jimmy is Manju here.
Yes, Manju.
Hi, Jimmy. Jimmy, can I discuss tomorrow morning 11:30 your time regarding
Yeah, no problem.
next module?
Yep, no problem.
Okay. Sure. I'll schedule the meeting. Okay.
Okay.
Okay. Thank you. Thank you much.
Thank you.
Thank you, Jimmy. Thank you, Duke. Thank you, Mihai.
Thank
Thank
you.
you guys.
Bye.
Bye.
Thank you.